What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're my full Machop evolution team. I really like G-Max Machamp, so this team is going to be super fun. So we've got Machop, Machoke, Machamp, and G-Max Machamp. So we've got 4 Pokemon to use against some other teams. Now, if you want to follow me on Twitch, make sure you do. That's where I do all my battles. I battle my audience there. We chat, we chill. It's super fun. Make sure you've come there already and hit that follow button. Now, tonight's video, we have 2 battles, and it was a pretty difficult team, right? Number 1, when a Psychic-type Pokemon came in that was really fast, like saying Alakazam, it was really bad, right? All those same weaknesses. Anyway, it was a super fun bunch of battles, and I really hope you enjoy this video. I really like doing the evolution team, so I'm basically made a thing now that I'm going to be doing one of them every week. So I'll be picking something out the comment section or on my Discord server, right? Okay, the first battle is against Mr. Guzzlord here, and we got a very interesting team here too. We got 2 like themed teams in one. So we got a Stunfisk lady. I've got a special Machamp. I had to bring this gem back. We got Focus Mist, Fire Blast, Vacuum Wave, and Hyper Beam. Now, almost opted to go for a Focus Energy set with Scope Lens, but I went back to my roots and went with the old Choice Spec set. So we got Max Health and Max Special Attack, and now we got Stunfisk swapping. So we got Stunfisk Galar, and we got normal Stunfisk, right? You might be able to see where the team's gone. So go for the Focus Mist there. It's a clear 2-hit KO with the crit there. If I do get another crit, it's going to go down, but it was kind of doubtful. Now, the ability I ran this one was No Guard, right? So then I can never miss Focus Mist. So then it wouldn't be Focus Mist, it'll be Focus Hit. Anyway, so go for another Focus Mist here on the Stunfisk, and Pancake almost goes down. It was so close, and now the Stunfisk is going to be able to get that pain spit off. So that was a good play there. They managed to do half damage to me and heal themselves off too, right? I actually quite like Stunfisk. It's a really cool Pokemon. Definitely one of my favorite 5th gen Pokemon. I know that it's a meme and stuff, but I don't only like it because it's a meme. I quite like its interesting sort of design too. So it's very flat. Anyway, so go for another Focus Mist again now. I am locked into Choice Spec, so I got to make sure that I actually take this thing out eventually. And it's going to leave again, and it's going to go for a Spark. It's trying to spark up a relationship. However, I'm not going to get paralyzed. I can go for another Focus Mist here and take it out. Now, the other Pokemon on their team, right, are not going to appreciate swapping into a Focus Mist either from a Choice Specs Machamp. So I knew that the Stunfisk was definitely going to stay in there. So that's probably the most times you'll ever see Focus Mist actually land in a row. So the first Stunfisk is going to go down, well, the normal Stunfisk, and we got a Stunfisk Galar as the other Pokemon still. Now, this battle was a 4v4, so you might be able to guess they're running a Stunfisk sort of evolution or forms team. So we got Stunfisk Galar and Stunfisk normal, and then we got the tiny variants of both of them, right? So there's 4v4. Now, I've got 4 Focus Mists left, so I was like, okay, I may as well go for all 4. The problem is if I do run out, I'll have to eventually swap out. Now, this is pretty cool. Now, I don't know if anyone's seen a Dynamax Stunfisk before, but feast your eyes on this puppy. So pretty much, right, Stunfisk is a very flat Pokemon, and it turns into like a big carpet. You know that joke, with Magikarp, I'm on a magic carpet, right? This is literally the carpet that Magikarp flies on in an Aladdin. Like, look at this thing. It's so good. So now I can go for a Focus Mist, which is not going to miss. It's going to land, and it does pretty dismal damage. So now Stunfisk is going to be going for a Max Lightning there, and no way Machamp is going to be able to live that one. And the Electric Terrain is on the field too, so that's going to definitely power up, its electric type moves too. So my Machamp is down. I thought that was a good Pokemon to lead with there. I could fire off those Focus Mists like all the time. So the item that Stunfisk has got is the leftovers too. So after the damage I did to it, it was really minimal, right? So it's quite a bulky Dynamax Pokemon. So I thought, okay, I wonder if this is using a physical set. I could go for a counter here. This Machop is running max speed and max attack, right? So I've got counter, protect, fissure, and close combat. Now the ability on this one was steadfast, I'm pretty sure. So we got the Hydro Pump there. I'm guessing it's a Hydro Pump or a Scald. I'm assuming it's Scald, not Hydro Pump. And unfortunately for me, it's going to be a special set. So that was really disappointing. I kind of wanted to get a counter KO. Oh, I don't know if it would have KO'd, but it would have done like a lot of damage because the the health scales a lot differently when they're in Dynamax. So it would have done lots, but not taken out if it was a physical set. So now I'm in sort of a dilemma here where I've got to go for either a that was like the stadium roof there, because Stunfisk is so big, guys. We've seen the stadium roof. I can go for a close combat. Fissure is not going to work because it's in Dynamax, and I can't go for protect because it's going to take me out. So go for the close combat. Does some pretty good damage, and Machop is going to go down. But that Machop was pretty much for any overwhelming Pokemon that were physical sets, right? and, you know, would sort of like sweep through my team. Like maybe like a psychic type Pokemon, something like Zen Headbutt that could just like demolish my team. It was difficult against special users. So, okay, so Machop's going to go down there. I guess he did a little bit of damage. It was a very bulky Pokemon to come up against. So now we're going to go into Machoke. This is my bulky Machoke. Stunfisk, the flying carpet is finally shrunk a little bit in the wash, and we're going to go for either. I was thinking I can't go for a Dynamax because the only Pokemon I'm allowed to Dynamax is the Machamp, right? So this is a bulky bulk up set. So man, look at those legs and those arms. It sort of looks like looking in the mirror. So go for the bulk up, right? We're going to get a +1 in defense and attack. And now we got the special Stunfisk, and it's going to go for a Thunder. Man, that does some pretty good damage. I'm running a max health and max special defense set, and that, I can tell you what, that did a lot of damage considering I was running Everlight too. So the other moves are Rest, Sleep Talk, and Dynamic Punch. Now, the problem about running No Guard, right, is that Thunder's going to land every single time. I kind of need it to happen for Dynamic Punch, right? So Dynamic Punch doesn't take out the Flatfish. It does get the Confusion, though, which is really nice. I was hoping it would hit itself for Confusion, but it didn't. And now it's going to be fire up another Thunder against my Machamp. I was like, oh, I'm probably going to get paralyzed here. You just watch it happen. But I didn't. I was like, man, that was like super, super nice. So Thunder is a 3-hit KO against my Machoke, and with the electric terrain up too. So now the electricity is going to disappear. I can go for I can either go for a Rest here, or I can go for a Dynamic Punch just to get rid of the Stunfisk. At this stage, I kind of want to get rid of this Stunfisk. It's caused me a lot of trouble in this battle. So go for a Dynamic Punch, and the Flatfish is going to be going down. And I get paralyzed by Static. Come on. I was like, I can't believe that I got through this Stunfisk and didn't get paralyzed once. But of course, its ability got me in the end instead of Thunder. There you go. How ironic is that? So we've taken 2 Stunfisks. Man, look at those Stunfisks up the top there. It's like these... It's like they're 2 little pancakes just flopping around. So the next Pokemon is the Stunfisk, Stunfisk Galar, the very first one. So beware my trap. I was like, okay, I think this is probably going to have its signature move, right, and trap me in. But it won't take me out because I do have Rest. So I thought, okay, my best option is, since I'm paralyzed, would be to go for the Dynamic Punch. Now it's going to be going for Earthquake, and Machoke is not going to be able to live that one. Unfortunately, it crits me. I don't know if that one actually mattered at all. I did have a bulk up, but it would have been very close regardless, right? Stunfisk has, pretty good tap. So my last Machamp is the shiny Machamp, and this is going to be the G-Max one. So I've got through 2 Stunfisk, but I still need to get through 2 more. Now, this is my most sweatiest set on my team here. I had to run this one just due to the teams that I was coming across, right? 4v6 is, it's pretty rough, right? So we got Close Combat, Ice Punch, Bullet Punch, and Knock Off. Basically a standard Machamp set. The item on this one, I'm trying to think, was Assault Vest, right? So Assault Vest and those 3 items. So we got the big old Machamp, but I can go for the G-Max Cheese Strike there. And man, I love shiny G-Max Machamp. Looks really, really cool. The green and the yellow veins and the yellow fist look like super, super cool. So beware my trap manages to withstand that hit, which is very, very impressive. I'm gonna get pumped up, guys, if you know what I'm saying. And now we got these Stunfisk go for Earthquake. So it's a pretty good damage there to Machamp. Now, I can go for another G-Max Strike here and just take it out. And then I'll have one more turn of the G-Max against the last Stunfisk, right? And so now we got a Sucker Punch here. Stunfisk obviously trying to get a little bit more damage before it faints. I can go for another G-Max Cheese Strike there against the Stunfisk. So I was actually fairly lucky that my moves were all super effective or neutral against the Stunfisk. So in a way, I did have an advantage, right? In that way. I mean, Machop wasn't the greatest Pokemon in the world, so I thought it was actually a fairly even battle, like sort of matchups there. So the next Pokemon is the Do Not Touch, and this is the Galar one, the shiny version. So the difference is it sort of goes like little yellow love hearts instead of the green one. So it's kind of nice. So I can go for one more G-Max Cheese Strike here. I wasn't sure if this was going to be able to take it out. I knew that it would do like a decent amount of damage, right? So go for that attack there, and it tanks it so well. Like, it took that like super, super well. So now I'm out of my G-Max the next turn. It's going to be able to attack me, and it's going to go for a rest. I'm like, okay, all right, it's gone to sleep. What sort of moveset is this going to be, right? Now, Stunfisk is going to go to sleep, right? It's going to close its little peepers. I really like the design of it, though. Like, at the start, I was sort of a little bit on the fence about it, but I really like how it's like a little bear traps. It's nice. So I can go for a Close Combat here. I can go for a Knockoff or Ice Punch. I can just go for Close Combat here. It's going to do a lot of damage, right, coming off Machamp. The ability on this one was Guts as well. I just threw that on there in case I got paralyzed, right? So go for the close combat, but since I got all those boosts from the, the critical hit boost from earlier on, I was able to crit the Stunfisk in one shot right out of this battle. It did have the Rocky Helmet as the item, but it's going to be going down. A very, very close battle there. I was lucky I was basically lucky I had that super effective in the end there to get through the Stunfisk, because that thing is super, super bulky. Thank you for the battle, Mr. Gunsword. And let's get on to the next one. But some really cool teams here. This is a battle against, I think it was Art Pop Rain, and we got a pretty interesting team here as well. Now, this battle was a little bit longer than the first one. The first battle was is a little bit short because it was like 4v4 is usually quite a short battle. Now, we got a theme team here in the second one too. You may be able to guess this one as the battle goes on. So we got Gatorade, that's a drink. Gatorade, is it maybe after? I think it's after Gator, not the actual drink Gatorade. Anyway, so I've got Protect here, and I can just protect the first turn to see what the Krookodile is actually going to do, right? Now, if I was going to use a physical move, I just wanted to see, because then I could easily slide in and go for a counter, right? And that will get me an early lead against their team. So instead of going for a physical move, it's going to use Torment. I'm like, oh man, I'm tormented. So I can either opt here to go for a close combat, or I could even go for a fissure. I thought close combat could be a pretty good option since I was running max attack on my Machop, right? I was thinking about this move for a lot of the time. I didn't want to waste Machop either because it had a focus sash, and if I burn it off against the start against maybe a status one, it could be a big waste of time. So it's like, I'm just going to take the risk. I don't really want to swap. And now it's going to have beat up. So that was a great counter to my set, pardon the pun. And beat up's not going to do a lot of damage, right? But it is going to get around the fact that if I did go for a counter, it wasn't going to do that much damage, and it's probably tanky enough to leave maybe one close combat. So I was thinking maybe they've got King's Rock on this set. I'm not really sure. It hit me 6 times, and I went for the close combat, hoping to do some good damage, and it does pretty good damage. 3/4 to the Krookodile, which is really, really nice. Now I'm going to drop my stats. Obviously, I know that I'm going to get outsped by this thing, and it's got Rocky Helmet instead of King's Rock. So okay, that's fair enough. So Machop would have probably been better at maybe towards the end of the battle, but usually I led with it because I normally got at least one counter KO with it if it was a physical set, of course. So Machop is going to go down. Not much luck in these 2 battles that I had. It did get a pretty good hit off with close combat though, so I was happy about that. Now my next Pokemon, I thought I might be able to swap in my Machamp, right? My special Machamp, judging on what they brought on their team, which you'll be able to see soon. So I've got Vacuum Wave Choice Specs, which will probably almost take it out. Machamp's special attack isn't the greatest in the world, but I thought, nah, let's just lock it into the Focus Mist, right? So now we got a Brick Break from Krookodile, does pretty minimal damage to Machamp, since I'm running a max health set, and there's no stab there, and that is definitely going to finish off the Gator Rage, which is good. Now, judging on the rest of the team, I thought this is the best move to go for because they are running a particular theme team as well. So the first team we had a theme team versus theme team, and this one we had a theme team versus theme team as well, which is like super, super nice. So they were actually going through their Pokemon here for good reason because they've got 6 Krookodiles on their team. So it was quite funny because I do have the type match advantage, but they do have 6 Pokemon. So it's going to be kind of curious what was going to happen here. So now we got an Aqua Tail from the Krookodile. Does some pretty good damage to Machamp, but Machamp has got the no guard, so it's never going to miss Focus Mist, which is really, really bad for these. Like any of these Krookodiles are going to get Shrek right. So Dino Gator is going to go down there. Not a bad name there. So is this a full Steve Irwin team or what? So we've taken 2 Krookodiles out, right, which is good. Now there's 4 Krookodiles left, right. I'm just going for Focus Miss every single time. So we got Kooky coming in here, and it's going to have Intimidate, which would be like a physical Machamp would have been screwed there, but I had the special one, right. I got around that like beautifully there. So go for Focus Miss again. I was wondering if it had enough actual damage to take me out here. I wasn't really sure, and it's going to be a special set this time. Sludge Bomb is just going to be enough to not take me out. However, it does poison me, which is very lucky there because I'm going to go down to the next turn to the poison. However, I do manage to get 1 more Focus Miss off, and Kooky is going to be cooked. So I've got 3 more Pokemon. I've got 3 more. Actually, I've taken 3 out, and I've only got 2 more Pokemon left, and I've got to take those last 3 out with my Machamp. Now, I was fairly confident because there was 3 super effective, like any fighting move is super effective, right? And I had fighting moves on the last 2. Now, Krookodile did have the speed advantage against me. That was the only thing, and I was kind of curious what the other moves would be. So we got an Intimidate here on my Machoke. Unfortunately, I'm running a physical set now, and man, I've got to set up bulk ups here, right? Or I could go for a Dynamic Punch, then set the bulk ups. That was sort of my thing. Go for the confusion, and then bulk up. So then it's going to be bulking up and thinking, oh, this is not very good, because this could have something like, you know, Power Trip. That'd be really, really bad. Even though it's not going to be very effective, if they get enough boost up, it's going to sweep through the rest of my team, right? So we're getting that Dynamic Punch off. Still does some really good damage at -1 and no attack EV. So I was happy with that, and I thought this would be a prime opportunity to set up bulk ups myself, right? And it'd be pretty hard to take this Machoke out. And the only thing about this Machoke, right, it does require some setup, and it definitely can go down to a strong special psychic type move, or, you know, flying type move, you know, air slash, those sort of things, right? But currently looking at the, you know, obviously knowing the other couple of Pokemon on this team, I knew that none of those things would be in play, right? So I was pretty confident I could set a lot of those up. So I thought, okay, I've got my attack back to normal. I may as well go for another Dynamic Punch. I don't want this thing setting up too much, and if it has access to maybe rest or some form of recovery, I do not want to let it rest off, right? Because I could, like, something bad could happen. I could get critted, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So I need 2 more Dynamic Punch to actually take this out. If it does hit itself in confusion, that'll be really nice too. That'll almost, yeah, that'll definitely secure me taking it out the next turn. So at the moment, I was thinking about a while to go for more bulk ups. I was like, no, I'm just going to keep going for Dynamic Punch. I do not want to let this thing set up at all, and it's going to have rest. So I knew that it would have rest, like, after setting all those bulk ups up. So I was like, okay, is it going to be a Sleep Talk set? You know, the classic PIMPNITE Sleep Talk rest set. And I'm thinking it is, right, because it didn't have like a Chesto Bro. So go for Dynamic Punch again. It's about a 5 hit KO, but probably around 4 hit KOs. Very, very close, right, depending on that. Now, I've got 5 Dynamic Punches left here. I decided to just keep attacking this thing in case, because if I could get going bulk up, then if it gets Sleep Talk and it goes bulk up, it's going to be bad, right? So it's going to hit itself with confusion, and that was really good for me because it actually didn't do anything that turn, and I was able to get another Dynamic Punch off. So now Krookodile is in a position, if it doesn't, like, if it hits itself once more and doesn't wake up, I'm going to be able to take it up there. So it's going to get that Sleep Talk off there, and it's got the Sleep Talk, and guess what, people? It's going to get Sleep Talk. Yes, it's going to get rest. So I know how that feels so much, people. I know that feeling all too well. So go for Dynamic Punch there, and it's just going to be able to live on like 1 health. So we got the confusion there going on the Krookodile, and this is its, actually, this is its turn of actually waking up. Now, I was really trying to get around this Krookodile before it woke up. I was actually a little bit worried about my PP too. So we got some confusion there on Krookodile, hoping it hit itself for confusion, and it did. That was really, really good, because I know another rest there was coming. Now, I could have said, if it didn't hit itself for confusion there and went for rest, I just would have started setting up bulk ups up, right? So we've taken 4 Krookodiles out there. I've still got Machoke. It's got a bit of bulk to it, and I've still got my Machamp in the back, right? And I haven't even, like, G-Maxed that. So King Karool's got to come out here. I can go for another Dynamic Punch. At this point, I thought, nah, I'm not going to set up bulk ups. I'm just going to go for power, right? It's at the end game of the battle, and now we've got a Dynamax Krookodile. So I was like, okay, that was a good play going for Dynamic Punch, right? I'll get some good damage off there, and I'll get a confusion too, right? Which is kind of nice. And no guard Dynamic Punch is quite nice too. Like, I was like, I don't know, out of the abilities, I've always like no guard is one of the abilities. You can always land your hits. I guess that the only downside is that the opponent can use it against you if they've got like low accuracy moves too. So now we got the Krookodile. I go for a fighting type move there, and it's going to be boosting its attack stat. So I need to take this thing out really fast, because I really don't want to have my Machamp dealing with that, right? So go for Dynamic Punch, does big damage there. That does like half its health. I'm very, impressed with that, right? And Krookodile is going to be confused there. So the next Dynamic Punch does take it out. I've only got 1 left. I was like, do I go for rest or not? It's like, I'm gonna use the full amount of Dynamic Punches. However, now Machoke is going to be rendered useless because it doesn't have any moves left. Maybe I could have gone for rest there, but I was sort of scared that it might be able to set up me, and I just wanted to take it out right. And I still had a Machamp in the back. So it's going to hit itself in confusion, which is great. And now Machoke's going to go for another Dynamic Punch and take out the Dynamax Krookodile. So that was really, really good. Now, there was a small problem now. Not only did I have a good Machoke setup, it was bulky and all, but I had no attacking moves, right? So what am I going to do here? I thought, The best play I can do here is, it might be able to set up me. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I might be able to see what moves Salted Dial actually has. So once again, it's going to drop my attack there. Now, you can't go for Sleep Talk, like Rest, Sleep Talk, and get Dino Punch if it's out of PP. So if you leave it with 1 PP, right, you're good. As long as it's got 1 left, you're good to go. So I just went for Bulk Up. I want to see what this Pokemon's going to do, right? And then it was actually quite funny because it went for a counter. I'm like, oh no, does this only have counter? Like, what other moves is this thing going to have? I was worried if it has a Focus Sash as well, you know. If it's got counter, it's probably going to have Focus Sash. So go for another Bulk Up here on my Machoke. I want to see what other moves it's going to use. Like, maybe use a different move, right? Now it's going to go for counter again. I'm like, oh, it's just going to keep going for counter. Like, eventually to I swap, right? I was in a really bad position. Now, I did have the score. I had this score advantage, but I'm not really one of those players who's going to, like, time a stall, you know? I thought, let's swap into Machamp. I may as well get a free swap in anyway. So into Machamp, and then it's going to go for a taunt. If I got taunted then with my Machoke, I would have struggled, you know? So that could have worked out well, but I didn't know that it was going to have taunt as well as counter. So now I'm like, okay, well, the best thing to do here is to go into G-Max Machamp and just attack it. It did actually go through my head to go for like a Ice Punch and then get the Hail to take it out if it did have Sash, but I thought, nah, just go for my attacking move and, you know, take it out. So I've still got my Machoke left, and if it does go for counter and taunt again, I'll be able to take it out with Struggle, right? That'll be super funny. So going into my big old Machamp G-Max here, man, look at that belt. I'm actually kind of curious, right? Actually, I'm not. I'm looking at, like, let's be serious here. Machoke's jocks, right? Like, how does that even, like, how does that work? Like, did the jocks get bigger over time? I don't know. Like, someone enlighten me. Anyway, so go for that, obviously, the Max Cheese right there. I knew that I had Focus Sash, and I'm going to get that, obviously, that rise in crit damage. And now it's going to go for the counter. Machoke lives on 54 health. I was hoping I lived just due to the fact that I'm running max health, and you got your G-Max Sue, so that extra big boost in health. And now I can just go for another attack and, you know, take it out. It did outspeed me. It's got Lash Out. I just managed to lift Lash Out by the skin of my teeth. I don't know if it's got teeth, but Machamp is going to take out the Krookodile, the very last Krookodile, and a very, very close battle at the end there. I nearly got messed over by that one. Thank you for the battle. Hope you people enjoyed these battles. Are really, really fun, and I hope to do another Evolution team next week. Peace out.